There we go. It didn't like that I clicked off the screen.
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days.
Oh my. Oh, there we go.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor. You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie? Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
Holy God. Okay. So this is where the water tastes like wine. This game came out, a year ago, maybe 2 years by now. It's not that old. I never got a chance to actually play it. I had planned to play it, and I think something came up, and by the time it got back on my radar, it had already been a while, and I was in the middle of doing a Let's Play on something else. It's actually not, I've never thought of picking it up, but it is on Game Pass for PC, so I was like, ooh, this is a great chance to finally play it, and might as well stream it. So this will be a little intro to the game. Ooh, interesting. So the only pretense I know for this game is the currency in this world is stories. That's it. That's all I've been told. Okay, so the 3 is staves, justice, choice, morality. The world, heaven, desires fulfilled, wishes come true. Fortune, fate, death, change, endings, moving on. Oh, so I'm building a story? Okay. Tell the story of the northbound train blinking its giant eyes as it crawls through the night. Yeah?
Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. But an old cliche in one state might be a rip-roaring new yarn in another.
So then justice. Tell the stories of the endless series of doors of different kinds, each leading only to more doors. You tell the story of the endless doors.
You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy? Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety.
Okay. The world. Heaven desires to fulfill wishes come true. Tell the story of the parting of a cloud of fog to reveal a brief glimpse of a land of promise and plenty.
Your deepest desires, your greatest wish, heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain, El Dorado, the promised land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine. Well, I don't know where that is. It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet.
Should that be a roll credits moment where the water tastes like wine?
They're all searching for the same thing.
Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Fortune, fate, and luck. Tell the story of tossing a pair of bone dice on a blood-red velvet table. They come up snake eyes and wink at you. That sounds interesting. I want to hear that story.
It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you. It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that.
The true shapes of people. Is that kind of like how I'm seeing you as a wolf man? All right. Death, change, endings, moving on. Okay. Tell the story of a black and gray city where every building is filled with desiccated corpses.
I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you will feel pain, hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told. And death, yes, but don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you. I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Oh man, I'm excited. Well, he sure did strip me of my flesh. Look at that. Alright, this tune is so good. Speaking of, though, that's me right there. Stripped of flesh, but nothing but a stick and an empty sack, because I assume I don't have anything. I do have a hat, though, so that's something. Alright, let's see. Make sure everything looks good. Sound. Music's always a bit loud, so we'll turn that down just a little bit. It's really good, but I don't want to turn down too much. I think for this, we'll actually turn sound effects down a little bit. Alright, that should sound good. Let's go. I'm literally just walking around. Oh, hello. There's a town right here, but it looks like I need to go this way. I'll just follow the road. Down that old town road. Look, a barn.
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back.
I hope I don't get in trouble for this music, but it is so good. I love it. I love it. Search.
This bungalow is being ransacked. There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway. The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored grin. One shouts at you. Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette?
I don't know about that. I'm already suspicious, but you know what? Let's be a little out there, so sure.
You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand.
Man, well, that turned out bad very quickly.
Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash, sneers one. On the porch behind him, the two bootleggers are fingering their empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
Well, the women were arrested for bootlegging. Oh, those were policemen. Oh my god. See, I knew this game's gonna do stuff like this. It's gonna play on what you think because of the way the story's told. They were policemen. They weren't like some thugs just ransacking a house. They were looking for stolen property stuff. Oh man. Oh bad. Okay, sure. Wait, all 16 what? Characters? Huh, okay. Is that... I can hitchhike a thumb. Okay, great. Okay. That's just funny. Alright, let's go check out this house. Hello?
Off the road and into the woods, you can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle.
Oh man, what do you think? Move on or say hello? I think we say hello, right? It's just a little, it looks like a little dust mite with eyes. Like in the other game we played yesterday, or Friday. Let's say hello.
The shape gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
Why not?
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore. But I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
Look for his dad or I won't tell. I think look for his dad. Like my moral obligation says... Oh, I don't... My morality says I want to look for his dad, but I kind of want to say I don't tell. I don't want to tell. Because I'm building a story. What happens if I don't say anything? But then what happens if I do say something? Do I get more information about why that dad wouldn't want to leave? I'm about building a story, right? So let's build the story.
His father must have been here at some point, but you sure can't see him now.
Please go. He's coming back any minute,
says the boy, growing agitated.
He's gonna see you talking to me. Please, go!
He only calms down when you leave. You don't see another soul for miles.
See, this is what I'm worried. Like, what if the dad either knew he was in there and then just left him? Or what if he was like... What if he did walk off somewhere and then died? What just happened here? I don't see another house. He's right. I don't see another soul for miles. We can try this church over here. Snake eyes? Oh, they're loaded dice. That's why. Dark World, High Priestess. Okay, so these are 2 of 237 stories gathered. Oh my god. I'm in Maine right now. I literally have to go across the whole US. Oh my god, okay. What kind of makes me want to go home then, right? I should go to Texas. Oh man, I gotta explore. There's not a time limit, right? Like, it's not gonna be like, your bones fell apart. You can no longer keep walking. Oh, look, the state line, Maine, New Hampshire. This music's so good. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for it. Oh, that's right. I can't stop it. There's no little pop-up sign. Oh, that sucks. I really want to go look around and see if I find the boy's dad. Or bones of his dad. would have seen it pop up right there. Oh man. Alright, well, let's go. Ooh, there's a cop car over there. Where to stop? Let's try this house.
They don't come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore.
I feel like this is one of those moments where it's an old man just sitting there. Don't say nothing, just let him keep going, right?
They seem to wait for something together, fidgeting and rubbing against one another. And when they fly off, they fly together. These two, these same two, have been coming here ever since I was a boy, the old man says. He watches them fly away until their bodies are dots vanishing into the low sun. Always the same pair. Wonder what keeps him coming back to this town. He shrugs. It must be home.
Interesting. Interesting, okay. How's he know it's the same birds, though?
A woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis. A confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
I'm gonna approach her.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench. You may. Lovely outside, isn't it? Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat. Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Oh my god, is she a zombie? Is she a walking corpse? Okay, well, that one's interesting. A lighthouse.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you. At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door. Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough. Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door. Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead. After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand. Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in. Despite the rough exterior, This room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. "Tea?" he offers, hoisting a teapot.
Why isn't my question like, yes, thank you? They don't look like they're lonely up here. They've been here long? But that's all of the heart logo is the one that I kept seeing, so I feel like I should follow that, right?
Oh, we manage.
The tall one sits on the sofa, casually wrapping an arm around the other lighthouse keeper.
The quiet suits us just fine.
He needs his quiet time. He's a writer. The tall one grunts.
I dabble. But you must have some good stories from the road.
Oh, here we go.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
I was gonna let me select a story or something. Okay. Huh. Hold RT to hitchhike? Wow. My goal in this playthrough is to get to Texas.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another. The man with the truck leaps into the street.
Brother!
He shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
Brother!
He screams. They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No! 32!
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us!
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
Let's get out of the road first.
As you usher them onto the sidewalk, the driver says,
Joe, I thought you were dead.
The rider freezes.
Joe?
He blurts.
I'm not Joe.
The two men stare at one another, each slowly recognizing something alien in their mistaken brother's face.
Whoa, dude. What? What? How many coincidences? What? So they're both missing a brother that they haven't seen in over 30 years. One says 30, one says 32. Like, they both have to have brothers that to each other are very similar. And the fact that they haven't seen each other in 30 plus years. That is some incredible coincidence. I feel like I'm walking to the beat.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late. In the moonlight, Every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees. But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist. He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
Oh my god, he's a tall one.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
Run the hell away. Sorry, I haven't. Well, it sounds like someone who's been searching for a long time, so his voice is like that because he's probably thirsty as hell. As for his hand being so pale, he's cold? Try not to say he's a headless demon horseman or something.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist.
Oh my god.
He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Okay, I'm wrong. He was a ghost. He was a ghost. A rider in the woods. Hey, look, a campfire.
Hey there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is. This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. You can call me Quinn. These here are my venturing companions. Cass is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip. I usually beat my way on the rails, but the road news said this town was fat, and the weather was fine. So I'm taking in the sights and seeing what I can drum up. I'm in the mood for something real funny-like.
Oh man, my stories. Alright. Here are all the stories you collected so far. They are organized by subject because the boss likes the tarot cards. This is the subject of each story here. If you tell this person a story about love, for example, they will tell you something from their own life relating to the subject of love. Poor things. As the night goes on, this icon moves from left to right. When it reaches the right side, the night is over, and so is your storytelling. The person you're talking to will usually tell you where they'll be next so you can find them again. If you tell them types of story they request, you'll gain their trust and the eye will open. When it opens fully, the next time you meet them, they'll open up more about their life. They'll remember this from conversation to conversation, so don't feel you need to open the eye all the way the first time to meet someone. Dance around, get to know them. Okay, well, he wants something funny. I know that. Love, sadness. I don't know if I've heard anything that's like funny. Freedom. I could. Family, maybe? Tell the story of the seagulls and the fishermen near Portland, Maine. That's not funny. Two Lighthouse. That one could be, maybe. I don't know. That's, I mean, not sad, obviously. Past memories of two men who mistook each other for. That might be funny. He might like that, right? Tell the story of the two men who mistook each other for missing.
I remember that one. A couple good jokes can get you out of a fix sometimes. Well, I don't know a whole lot about the past, but they say there's an Injun grave around these parts. Say it's haunted and full up with angry spirits.
Like one on a horse?
I used to love hearing stories of cowboys and Injuns fighting it up. Would swap tales with the youngins. But, well, I suppose if someone shot me, I'd be pretty vengeful too. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Give me your best shot.
I got the one that I just saw. Tell the story of the rider in the woods around Boston. Yeah, the one right next door to you, kid.
Wow, that's the stuff, stranger. Spooky campfire tales are my favorite. Traps and such like. Well, one time in Fort Worth, a feller tried to take Cass and Flip away.
Uh-oh.
Said a kid couldn't look out for him proper like. That they were fat in Fort Worth and they were going to the pound so that he could find him a good home. Well, before I could much argue, Flip bit the hell out of that busybody and Cass and I joined in shortly. I don't think I ever seen a fella so surprised.
All three of them bit him.
Guess I ain't going back to Fort Worth no more. You got any happy stories?
Happy stories. Happy. Seagull. That one might be. The two lighthouse. That one's kind of happy, right? The sadness one. Oh, that one. Yeah, that one looks horrifying. Or the boy who ran away from his father in Maine. That one's sad. Alright, so either the seagulls or the lovers. And I think the lovers is probably better. That's a happy story, right? They're happily together. Come on. Come on now. Come on now.
Sometimes I need a tale like that just to remind me it's not all depressed out there. Love stories. Huh. Folks sure seem to be eat up with the notions of love. Singing and talking about it all the damn time. Not sure I see the appeal myself. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any?
A venture tale? Oh man, alright, hold on. I got here. The woman arrested for bootlegging in Maine. The boy who ran away. That's kind of an adventure. He's going on an adventure, right? That's not an adventure. That's more like solemn. So it's either the Emperor, yeah, the story of the women arrested for bootlegging, or literally the boy who ran away with his father in Maine, and that's basically an adventure. I'm going with this one. Come on, give me that full eye open.
Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that?
Yeah.
Jeez, freedom. Well, teacher used to talk about freedom like America was eat up with it. But the tramping kind seems to be just about the only real freedom still in supply. Ain't no freedom from an empty stomach or bad weather, unless you're rich. Hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like you still got a sense of humor.
Oh man, I think I'm out. Yeah, I don't think I have any other funny stories. This one's the closest one, I guess. No, because... Is this funny? Is the old man maybe funny? But it's... No. Story of women arrested for bootlegging. That's more of interesting. The family one's the closest one I have.
What's the use in telling sweet, happy tales if in the make you snooze?
I didn't think so.
My family. There ain't no way I'm gonna start jaw-flapping about those bastards. Judases, the lot of them. Enough said. Oh, heck, the night's over already. I sure enjoyed talking to you, but I gotta get on. I think I'll see what's happening up the road this way.
Oh, so he liked me enough to tell me where he's going.
The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a venture. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't. Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
Okay. When Chapter 2 is available. Alright. Now, question, have I lost my stories and I gotta refill them? Oh man, hold on. Okay, no, it looks like I still have them. Okay. Good. I was like, can I not use those anymore if I talk to someone else? This crow. Oh, my narrator's gone. As you walk down the road... I can't do it. As you walk down the road, a black crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head, and speaks. Well, you've got a long, long road ahead, don't you? All these people to chase down, or so I hear. It laughs. I've got some experience when it comes to chasing folks. Tell me about it. Well, if you want, you could go find your friend again. Ask them more about their life. They might want better stories this time, though. Peers up at you. Didn't they tell you where they were headed next? Yeah. But hey, the world is full of people. Bet you could find another friend like that if you went looking around. There's more than one interesting person in this land. For sure. It gives a gravely laugh. That's what humans say anyways. And with that, it launches into the air and disappears. What a crazy sounding crow, huh? That'll be the whistle. If you match the notes, you'll walk faster. Use X and Y to move. Wait, what? Wow. What a mechanic.
The women are oblivious to your approach. Their eyes are shut. Their touch, where they hold hands, is gentle. They speak in low tones. One stifles a burst of laughter, but it brings a smile to their faces.
Sorry.
Says the one who laughed.
Don't be.
Another assures her. They don't look up.
They could be... Oh, I want to say these... From just the laughing and the way that they're in the woods in a circle, I'm assuming they're trying to do some ritual. And one of the sisters just like, ha, this is so silly. Step loudly.
The branch snaps beneath you. The youngest jerks her eyes open and snatches her hands free from the circle.
It's all right. He isn't coming back.
Soothes the eldest. She turns to you.
You could join us. If you've got something you're grateful for.
Ah, they're praying. Okay. Emer, this is not for you. Give thanks. Emer? Dimmer? I don't even know what that word is. I'm sorry. I don't. Give thanks.
Your words go unremarked. The youngest, holding your right hand, takes her turn.
And we give thanks for those who left, who we wanted gone, for the skills to thrive without them, and for the companions who make the effort joyful.
Your hands are released. The ceremony is over.
I'm entering the woods. I can't believe I was instantly like, you know, this could be someone who's like doing a ritual, some witches. Nope. Oh, here's a story. This man reads the newspapers with barely contained horror, his grimace spreading wider and wider as he makes his way down the page. Suddenly, his frown cracks into something with little more amazement in it. Whoa, he says. What's the matter? He reads out a story aloud about 4 identical men, born 2 different mothers, who confuse themselves amongst each other. You're shocked. It's the story of the 2 men who each mistook each other for brothers, but with some bits changed. You think this really happens? He says. Oh, I've only seen one of it. You think this really happened? Oh yes, it's all made up? Do I want to say it's all made up? Because it's not all, I mean, it's not all made up. I think, oh yes. But the guy told me about stories that catch fire and they go crazy. Some are true, some are lies. He told me to bring back a story. Did he tell me to bring him back a true story? Oh man, it's all made up. Sounds like nonsense to me for sure. The stuff they print these days. The story grew in telling the 2 men. Into 4 identical men. Huh. Alright, got about 15 more minutes, then we'll have to call it off, but so let's keep going. A jet black crow aligns on a low branch of a twisted tree. Look at you, it calls. Think you got some good stories already? Well, I heard better, much better. It seems to wink at you. Want to hear my tricks? Sure, tutorial crow. The ones you got now? Pfft, pathetic stuff. You tell those stories around and they'll come back more exciting, more satisfying. So always listen to the stories of other folks tell. Their tales are less true, sure, but more useful around the campfire. The boss has a point about the true ones though. He's working for the freaking wolf. They're extra interesting. You learn a couple folks' true life stories and everyone will like them, no matter what kind of story they think they want to hear. Well, everyone's the captain of their destiny. Gives Bertha's laughter. Ain't no bootstraps in the world that can save you now. But the choices you make, they can change the kind of story you tell. It ruffles its feathers, sort of shrugs. Choose wisely or don't. Ha! Oh man, so I might have changed the stories of the four brothers. Instead of being 4 brothers, it's gonna change something else because I said it's all made up. And now what's it gonna be? Like 2 brothers, but they're in denial? I don't know, man. I don't know. Another crow? Tutorial crow's back? Yep. Hey! Hey, friend, hey! You hear about trains? It gives a throaty cackle. Locomotion! That's the life! I got some good travel chips here. You ever ride a train? It asks. With your budget, you'll need to. Hop on at a train yard, though. Fast and convenient, but the railroad bulls really don't like it when you ride the empty boxcars. If you get caught, you'll get beaten. It hops and pecks at something on the ground. On the positive side, maybe you'll meet someone on the train to trade stories with. But if you don't like the sound of that, you could hitchhike. Find a friendly car. I feel sorry for you landlubbers. No wings, just motors. Can't even cross rivers when you want to. Only at safe crossings. I always do. You notice his beak doesn't move as it speaks. But before you can tell anything else about it, it flies off. What was the thing? This one, right?
The stream is a clear, reflective shade of blue. Unusual in this region, where bog iron colors the river's brown. Across the way, a goat with great leather wings laps up the water, its sunken red eyes fixed on your every movement.
Sorry, my mouth is hanging open. A goat? He said a goat. A goat.
You now notice the unnatural absence of wildlife. No fish swim in the stream. No birds sing in the trees. The winged goat drinks with a forked tongue, only abstractly concerned with your presence.
Let's not approach. Let's drink the water and see what he does.
You cup the water in your hands, ice cold somehow, and take a swallow, soothing the coarseness in your parched throat. Clear as the water is, the stream bed isn't visible, even looking straight down.
Oh man, we're all in now. We're all in. We're about to swim in this water. Evil cow. Evil goat. Oh my god.
Your feet don't reach the bottom, so you float in the cool water, feeling washed clean. The ripples flow as far as you can see, never fading. The winged goat snorts and heads in the other direction.
Winged goat by pristine water. Is that like a feel-good story or a scary story? I don't know. I don't know. Another campfire? I don't even begin to get any good stories though. Ooh, here we go. Here's a story. This kindly old man staring at the shade under the bridge with you tells a few rambling stories. Some true seeming, some conspicuously less so. All true, he assures you. There's history in this place, going all the way back to the Indian times. Strange stuff happens around here. Can't all be true? Sure it is, he scoffs. And then, as if to prove himself right, he launches into a story about the immortal seagulls. And this one, you know. It's the story of the seagulls and the fishermen, but wilder and stranger than you remember. I know that one. See then? The old man laughs. Oh, I ain't pulling your leg. It's all true. Ah, now the seagulls are like immortals? Haha, that's funny. Okay. Interesting, okay.
He leans against a fence and turns to face you as you pass him by. At his back is a bag full of bird seed. He assures you that the gawky birds perching on his body are the last remaining passenger pigeons.
I thought they were extinct.
They look extinct to you?
You're not sure those dull gray pigeons look anything like the pictures you've seen of passenger pigeons, though you can't help thinking they stare at you a little too intently.
Say, you like birds?
Yeah.
They're lovely creatures. Guileless, really. Hunted damn near to extinction, weren't you?
He strokes one of his birds under the chin. You think you see drips of blood flecking the creature's dirty gray head.
Wait, what? You think you see drips of blood flecking the creature's dirty gray head? Oh, like flakes of blood on his head? Excuse me.
You sense it's about time you start moving on.
You be kind to the little birds now, you hear?
You hurry along the road, though the flapping of ungainly wings seems to follow you for hours.
Oh, man. I think that one got terrifying. I don't want to... Man, somebody pick me up. What about you? Homie, come on. Give me a ride. I can't cross the bridge on my own. What about you? Really? All you guys are full of it. Alright, let's hop a train then. Hop a train for Charlotte. Oh, I see someone. Or is that just me? You hop off the boxcar and successfully sneak your way out the train yard without catching any unwanted attention. Great. Uh-oh. A story has evolved. What's the evolution? What it is? What it is? These fellas are lounging in the front of the half-finished office building, taking their lunch break. Hey! One calls, waving you down. Rick was telling us this story. Listen, okay? And you tell if it's bullshit or not. Rick, a credulous-seeming fellow, starts telling you a story about the boy whose shiftless father left him alone in the woods. You realize the story of the boy who ran away with his father, but changed in a few major ways. So it's definitely pot bullshit, right? But also a little real. Let's see. It starts telling you about the boy whose shiftless father left him on the wood. Shiftless? Shiftless. It's bullshit. Half the group groans. The man who waved you down claps you on the back and shares a bottle of pop with you. I swear it's true. It happened, Wick protests. Yeah, Rick. You believe everything here. Shiftless. Shiftless. What the hell is shiftless? Maybe I just don't understand. What's this?
No fence, gate, or sign marks the entrance to the cemetery. Just a moment ago, you weren't surrounded by graves, and now you are. How long have you been stepping on dead folks, fully unaware?
I mean, I am a dead folk. Can you see my skeleton walking around?
A wood board, bleached white. Unknown. The word was painted on black by a steady hand, each letter signed with a flourish. Whoever made this memorial had more compassion than money.
Hold a moment of silence.
You're already quiet, so maybe it's silly. but you instill that silence with intent. What else could someone do? A sparrow calls. Seems birds don't have much respect for the dead. You notice the grave marker isn't dug into the ground, just propped up on a tree. Looks nicer now, but unmoored as these markers are. This grave in front of this tree, does this memorial even belong to it?
Oh man. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Where's the map? Alright, I'm steadily traveling down. Ooh, look, there's one more. Huge storm, this farmer gasped, pointing to the cloud and horizon. We gotta get the produce indoors before the fields wash out. Can you help? You and his family stripped the fields of vegetables. When the rain hits, you're all safe inside. And you've got some coin in your pocket. Do I have money now? Is that what it's saying? I have the money.
Faded shotgun houses sit in rows under the tall shadows of smokestacks. A worker in full uniform hollers from a porch. Hey, traveler! Throw me inside! Got some literature here! As you shut the door, the man glances out the window and draws the shades. Landlord toss you out? Ha! Don't mind me, it's none of my business. He pries up a floorboard with a crowbar. You glance over the man's shoulder to see inside the compartment. Canned goods, a pile of leaflets, the wood stock of a rifle. He replaces the board and stands. He hands you a can of whole potatoes, then a leaflet which reads, "No evictions, no fascists, no hunger." Headed back to the shop, but we'll have a Bible meet soon.
I'm gonna be honest, I travel around.
Nothing wrong with that. Careful in those boxcars, traveler, and take care of your neighbor.
That was kind of an interesting story, but see what this has to offer. Wait, where am I? Hold on. Oh, I can auto walk. Okay. Anyway. Map. Ah, I need to go this way. Actually, more like that way. I can just find Highway 35. Ah, found another one. Man, this song's getting fast.
Excusez-moi.
Beckoning you over, the woman shows you a letter, beautifully typeset on thick vellum. You're struck by the scent of a fancy department store. She points on the parchment to the address.
This address, you know?
Her accent is very thick.
Seems like she may not be the best at the English language. Right?
You are dismayed to read the first paragraph. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. And the address under the monogram in the letterhead. 12345 Road Street, Anytown, USA. The woman blinks, hopefully, leaning close over your shoulder.
Yes? You know this place?
She asks. Poor woman. she's been tricked.
I could make something up for the story, but I don't want to be a jerk, man. Come on.
This place doesn't exist, you try to explain as loud and slowly as possible.
Of course you exist.
The woman snorts, thumping a fist to her chest. You struggle to make yourself understood, but the poor woman whisks the letter away and stomps down the street. Ah well, c'est la vie.
Man, I tried. Not really much of a story I could probably use. It's too... I can't really get any meat of it. It's nothing but bones. Getting dark. Oops. There's a giant circle forming on my screen. What is that? That's sleep? Uh-oh. Need to find a campfire. Oh, there's a story evolution. What evolved? These fellas are lounging around the front of a half-finished office building, taking their lunch break. Hey, one calls waving down. Rick was telling this story. Listen, okay? And if he tells us bullshit or not. Same one, whatever. Alright, you realize it's, alright, they start telling a story about the blessed lighthouse sanctuary where souls and love could find respite. You realize it's a story of the two lighthouse keepers, but changed in a few major ways. It's not bullshit. Oh, how's that supposed to be a real story? Exclaims the man who weighed you down. You're all the most gullible pieces of shit I've ever met. The other half grown, vindicated, shares a bottle of pop with you. Ooh, interesting, interesting.
He sings as he works, his voice warm and soft as the late afternoon sun. The air's sweet with the tang of recently cut sugar cane. There's a practiced, almost soothing precision to the way he works. He looks up and nods hello. Making molasses, he says to your unasked question. I sell the blackstripe in town. Farmers use it for feed. Bitter as hell. He grins. Got some set aside. He comes back with a murky flask, waving off any offer of payment. I ain't charging. Folks around here need what they can get. Makes a mean loaf of bread. He nods at the barrels. I'm about done filtering. Got to boil it next. Lend a hand?
I'm not gonna ask for pay, he just gave me it for free.
You help him haul the barrels over to the metal boiler. You pour in the juice and set the fire. It's hot work. He fetches water and dark bread, and you share the small meal and a smile. It's good to find another who takes joy in honest labor.
There's a meme I'm thinking of. Man who made molasses. Man, I need to find a campfire. See, I'm not gonna find one in town. It's gotta be one on the outskirts of town or something. You know what? Let's try the train. Maybe we can sleep on the train. Oh. That's not a train yard. This barn seems abandoned, but soon you nod off in the musty hay you've woken by the yowling of cats. The little girl who wandered in with them shrugs. You can stay, she says. Dad isn't working down here today. She's right. You get a full evening of unbroken sleep. I'm not tired anymore. Interesting. Okay, so that was just a place to sleep. Slept in someone's barn. The realization of that is washing over me.
The blistering sun has scared even birds into the shade. But a middle-aged woman and a young couple are still collecting scraps of cotton that the machinery missed. With a ragged voice, the older woman calls to you. Got any water?
Yeah.
The three of them rush over to you, suddenly reanimated. They pass around your canteen. When you get it back, it's empty. The woman squeezes your hand and sighs with relief. Sweetest thing I ever tasted, she tells you.
Thirsty cotton pickers. That's not much of a story, or am I crazy? Where am I? Ah, I'm very close. Follow this river I shall. I'm almost at the end of my journey. I'm not stopping until I get to Texas. My home country. Country? State. Whatever. It's big enough to be a country. Hello.
A sign in town says a farmer is hiring for the sugarcane harvest. A bag-eyed man drives you and 10 hungry strangers out into the cane, where he leaves you. Everyone gets a hatchet, but no instruction. The foreman is missing for some reason. Nobody is sure what to do. A young man in a red jacket stuffs all the hatchets in his pack. "This is stupid," he says. "I'm leaving. You can get $5 for a nice axe like this." He marches off into the cane and others follow. "Don't!" a young woman shouts after them. "It's not right."
Oh man. I always like doing the nice things. Say I don't know the farmer's shit.
You trot after the thief. For some reason, though, the path back out to the road is narrower and darker than you remember, and the sun is lower in the sky, and the mud sucks harder at your boots than it did a minute ago. Soon, you've lost track of the others. You're pushing through the cane, coated to your thighs in mud. The sun is missing. You hear voices ahead, but you can't see anyone. You stumble out onto the bank of a pit. At the bottom, sugarcane stalks push up, twisted and crazy through a mat of bones, rusted hatchets, and ripped scraps of red jacket. Shit. You turn and bolt through the cane and burst suddenly out onto the dry road and the hot sun.
Oh my god. So that's a good thing I went, because I got a really good horror story out of it. My god. New Orleans. Oh, whoops. You know there's got to be a good story at New Orleans, right? I don't see anything popping up. Really? Nothing? I expected some kind of pop-up. It's New Orleans. There should be tons of horror stories here. You know what I mean. Or funny stories, depending on what you're thinking of. I can search this place. Two musicians beckon you over. Billy spit. Our show's in 5 minutes. You play the upright bass? You don't. Doesn't matter. Keep plucking this string. Look, we'll play you fake it for a couple songs, feeling like an idiot, but hey, you'll get paid. Okay. Can I go with you? Come back. Come back. May I hitch a ride to Dallas? Please? I hate you. It's such an interesting game that anyone can kind of like visit their home. Houston. Am I already here and I didn't realize it? What? What is this? Oh, okay. Houston's not that close. Dude, what? Houston's like way down here. That's not Houston. Houston's like about right here in the center of this map. You telling me Houston's way up there? Crazy. Crazy. Anyways, come on, Houston. I know you got crazy stories. Give them to me.
They sheepishly, how else, approach the edge of the water and lap at it. A moving cloud stalking the plain on stocky legs. It's a huge flock, and for a long time you see no shepherd, until a figure on a horse crests over a ridge in the hilly terrain. He rides a white horse. No, a pale horse. No, actually, a horse the sickly green color of an ashen corpse. And he's a gaunt figure clothed in a ragged cloak. But in spite of that, he seems in good spirits.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yes, they are.
My flock. Bigger than it has been in centuries.
He stalks through the mass of beasts, their soft bodies instinctively giving way to the spindly legs of his mount.
Oh, there it goes.
He points with one emaciated toe at a black ram moving through the flock.
The soul of an evil man.
Evil
One
man,
of the
huh?
worst.
It looks pretty harmless, but then again, you suppose we're all pretty harmless in death.
Whoa.
A Spanish fascist. He planned on fleeing to America should the war not turn out his way. His side might win the war yet, but a Lincoln Battalion bullet caught up with him first.
He cracks a sardonic grin that makes you queasy.
I thought I'd take the flock to graze here, so he could see the land that loaded the gun.
Are you telling me these are the souls of the damn? These are not souls of the damned. These are souls in the Grim Reaper. What? Why are these all horror stories? Oh man. Listen to this, blurts a boy loitering outside a grocery store. He works his way through a long, strange story about the headless Hessian of Sleepy Hollow. There he finishes, what do you think? Wait a minute. Holy shit, you know this story. It's the story of the Rider in the Woods, but wildly altered. For a couple of moments, you're too surprised to respond. Seriously, the boy states, what do you think about that one? Great story. He smiles sheepishly. Thanks, he said. I heard it from my brother. That's a huge different story. Oh my god. Okay, Sleepy Hollow. Am I making the story of Sleepy Hollow? Oh my god. Headless Horseman. It's a first communion. Looks like the photographers are struggling to keep up with the flow of family photos outside the church. Can you write? They demand. For hours, you scribble names, take notes, keep the line orderly. For an afternoon's work, it pays very well. Am I keeping track of how much money I have? What's going on here? Also, I'm missing a lot of items here. Looks like I have a lot of money. I'm tired. My health is high. Is that what that means? Oh, okay. This looks like a campfire. Why is there no one camping? I can't. I want to hear this. I like the song. Antonio. My next door neighbor. need the soundtrack to this game, man.
They've taken over a booth at the roadside diner, tables strewn with papers and forms. He's in shirt sleeves, revolver hanging loosely off his chest. She's in a moss green dress from 2 seasons ago and a felt hat that's begun to warp. You slip into the booth next to him.
Tell me again where you saw him last?
He asks.
He was in the car with me. We were just driving down the road.
So where did you stop the car? He asks. She sounds exasperated.
I told you, I never did.
And the same accent, same drawl from somewhere in North Texas or Oklahoma. But his is subtler, although he's been trying to shake it for a few years.
Keep my eyes to myself, listen to them keep talking.
You try not to disturb them, but in truth, they barely know you're there.
We were going 40 miles an hour when he vanished. All I saw were those damned lights.
In the lingering, baffled silence that follows, you find your cue to leave.
Alien abduction? Oh my god, thank you, Texas. That's the story I want. What is that? You see that over there? Is it a campfire? I need a campfire. I need to meet somebody. Oops. Horse.
You fear your feet will sink into the dry emptiness of the Great Basin. Every step is a syncopated crack of dried ground and salt underfoot. Even the vultures avoid this wasteland. Was there a road you were supposed to be following? Your throat has gone numb. You're not sure you ever had a tongue. The lonely iron-colored rock rising from the ground is the first thing you've seen in days. The air around the stone shimmers drunkenly in the roasting heat, distorting a figure standing before it. A rider, white from the tip of his hat to the slender legs of his horse. The buttons on his coat glint silver in the sun. Dust doesn't cling to his pressed white trousers. You're tired of ghouls and very near done with psychopomps. Time contracts in the heat. Suddenly, he stands all too close.
Can I actually die in this game? Because I'm very curious.
Some croaking noises clatter out of your mouth as you beg for water. But he doesn't hear you. He's not here for you. You slide down to your knees as he rides on towards someone else. Ahead, on what passes for a trail, another horseman, face down on the ground, ragged and empty. His horse dead a few steps before the spot where he was pitched into the sand. The white rider canters toward him, slow but unerring.
Whoa, dude. That's a hell of a story. Oh no, sleep comes. Alright, I need to get back to town or something. I get why Houston and San Antonio are featured on here, but probably not Austin. It is the capital, but it's... the country times like this, I don't think it's considered a major city at all, fortunately. Sorry, I completely lost track of my thoughts. Anyways, hop on a train, give it a shot. Ah, no one to talk to. Ah, Dang. You hop out the boxcar, you suddenly feel the heavy hand of a railroad bull on your shoulder. Now, where'd you come from? He asks in a way that indicates he doesn't care. You don't mess with the Rio Grande's car. The beating that ensues is efficient and brutal. Wow. Well, my health is, like, missing. I assume if I take one more beating, I'm dead. Fantastic. Perfect, but it got me into a campfire, I guess, so, you know, things are looking up, I guess. Alright, let's do it. Fidelina?
Buen día le de Dios, stranger. Come, sit with me a little. To rest is a simple remedy, pero es importante. And the first step in la curación. Everyone needs healing. It has always been this way. Sometimes it's a toothache, and sometimes more. Resting the mind is difícil. Walking or sitting, running or sleeping. Always the mind is working, pensando. But now, do you have a story about hope? About happiness and the goodness in the world?
The Lover's Lighthouse. That is definitely goodness in the world. But what's joy? Story of the man who made molasses near Texas. Oh! Yeah! He's a good, hard-working man, right? Tell the story of the man who made molasses.
Mi corazón. That was a good story.
Oh, gracias. Gracias, abuelita.
Joy? My favorite time of year is late summer. In August. That's the time to gather the plants for las curaciones. To be one with la tierra. To honor it. There is great joy in being alone on the llano. Or when I go to the mountains. Do you have any frightening stories? Have you seen the work of Las Brujas on your travels?
Sí, señora. You won't believe it. Where's that one story? Hold on. No, not that one. Story of the Headless Hassan of Sleepy Hollow. It's not the one I was looking for, but that's okay.
What a story. Mira mis manos. They are shaking. Traps? Sickness is like a trap. Una prisión that damaged the body, spirit, and mind of a person. Sometimes there is no release from that prison. Oh, please, tell me a story sobre la esperanza and all the good in this world.
I still feel like I should go with the love one then. No, that one's nature, but that one's like crazy. Missing people. I still want to go with the lovers, so we're gonna do this one. Oh, the pigeon keeper. Yeah, but that one looks kind of like it could be story, so let's do this one. Story? Scary, I mean. Where the souls could find respite.
What a good story. Esperanza. It is the most important, I think.
I agree.
Do everything with love, especialmente when it is hard. Also, you must listen to who or what you love, or you will not understand and will cause harm. But tell me, what is the most frightening thing you have seen on your travel?
Okay, where's that one story? The White Rider in the Desert in the Southwest? That one's kind of scary. I know there's one a little bit scarier, right? For the boy whose shiftless father from the woods. That is kind of scary right there, but that's more sad. The Gaunt Shepherd around Houston. That one is terrifying to me. Man, but that's choice morality. What if she doesn't find that scary? Not allowed to use a card once I've done it. Oh, man. Mortal Seagulls. Queen Goat. That one's scary, right? Or the Mysterious Woman with a Letter Delivery. That one's not scary at all. Small town near Portland, Maine. I feel like that one is scary, though. Let's go with that one.
Okay. Do you get joy from telling me this?
Come on. Come on. Did you hear the story about the scar around her neck?
Sadness? Claro que sí. I am an old woman, no? My husband, que Dios lo tenga en la gloria. He died not too long ago. Oh, it is sad for me. But there are more sad things at the end of a good life. But tell me.
Oh, you want scary again? Lolita. Well, fine, I'll go with the one that I wanted to. Where is it? This one? Yeah.
What a good
I was
story.
right.
Like what mi hermano used to tell me as a girl.
Speaking of, where is he?
My choices? Yes. I follow my code. I do what I can with that I'm giving. If my curación is not wanted, I do not force it on people. That only makes things worse. You're kind to listen to una vieja talk of nada. I have learned mucho en mi vida. Now, I wish to share more than ever.
Aww.
Perhaps you want to hear this old woman talk again? I hope so. The road takes me this way. If your journey takes you there, look for me.
Arizona, New Mexico? Alrighty. Abuela will follow you. But I am also missing a lot of help. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for today's stream. The water tastes like wine. If you want to see more of this, I have no problem streaming more of this later in the week. I do plan to stream tomorrow night for a game release, but I'm not sure because I have 2 other games I also want to play next week. It's a really good choice here. Thank you for watching. That'll be it for today. Listen to the outro song. Get this game, by the way. It's on PC through the Game Pass, which I think is $5 for a month, but I think they're running a special where it's like $5 for 3 months right now. So go check that out. Let me know what you think. This game is really great. The fact that 99% of it was voice acted is amazing. Like this is just a story. I love it. It's just a game about collecting stories. I love little short stories. They're so good. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. And with that, we shall go.